As the yellow spandex glove slowly fell to the floor at last month's Melodi Grand Prix final, so too did the identity of one of the most intriguing concepts to hit Eurovision in the last number of years. Norway's dynamic doggy duo Subwoolfer is apparently no more. Or is it? They say that every dog has its day, and perhaps the unmasking of this year's 10th place Eurovision finalists is the creators acknowledging a good run and that they would rather wield the shotgun on themselves than have the humiliation of someone or something else doing it for them. The creation of Subwoofer is steeped in fairy tale tradition and is a modern take on the French author Charles Perrault's Red Riding Hood story. However, in a clever subversion on the tale, the wolf or wolves are outsmarting the audience by calling time before we can do it for them. Meta and self-effacing right up until the last. So far, so Subwoolfer. However, in removing their masks, have they unwittingly rang the death knell on their careers as the banana favouring canines? We are being told that a children's book and a documentary are in the works. Can this find the same audience now that we have seen the human flesh that dwells below the yellow spandex? Now, I know what you're thinking, but we always knew who they were, and of course that's true. I would imagine anyone who held a genuine belief that Keith and Jim arrived on Earth from the moon billions of years ago would surely be in the minority. With the advent of the internet, and in particular social media, nothing stays a secret for very long, and the obvious identity of Subwoofer was within the public domain even before the first large yellow banana was fully inflated in Norway. Yet, in true ever meta style, Subwoofer themselves released a song called Worst Kept Secret. It was a secret that everyone was in on, including the wily wolves themselves. In keeping with the forest theme, another famous literary forest from Shakespearean literature is the Forest of Arden from As You Like It. In the Forest of Arden, free from the shackles of court, the cast are able to swap roles and genders, and in doing so they bring out who they really are. This is frivolous body comedy where the characters are able to explore safe behind their well-constructed personas. When the masks finally fall and everyone's true identities are revealed, they reflect on what they learned as the screen fades to black, and much like the spandex glove of Subwoofer, the curtain must fall to the floor and the lights come on. Subwoofer have taken a metaphorical chainsaw to their own Forest of Arden, and we can now see the wood for the trees, and that wood is Ben Adams and Gaute Ormsson, as we always knew it was. It presents an interesting conundrum as Ben as part of A1 and Gaute as a solo artist have both attempted to represent Norway in Eurovision before, using the mandatory gateway of Norway's widely successful Melodi Grand Prix. In 2010, Adam and Gaute both failed to win the ticket, and Gaute again in 2013 couldn't make the grade and was denied the Eurovision stage for the second time. Fast forward to 2022 and hidden safely below layers of yellow spandex and with a wolf mask on, Gaute along with Ben secured the ticket to Turin. Fellow Melodi Grand Prix hopeful and former A1 alum Christian Ingebrigtsen must have looked on with mild bemusement, potential envy as he failed to make the grade. He must have been thinking, room in the wolf pack for one more guys? But no conciliatory banana was thrown and Ben and Gaute marched on to Italy, leaving their MGP disappointments firmly in the past. The beauty of Subwoofer comes in the novelty of the act. In a world with ever-increasing uncertainty and general worry, mythological characters present a form of escapism and is arguably one of the things that Eurovision is purpose-built for. Take a trip to Disneyland and the one thing that will never fail to make you smile is the life-size cast of characters milling around the park and taking photos with delighted children. Now of course, we know that the Mickey from our childhoods doesn't dwell under those sweaty layers of polyester. It's some guy called Dave who's just putting the hours in until he can go back to the safety of his real life, safe in the knowledge that his joy-spreading responsibilities can be put on hold until tomorrow. What Mickey doesn't do is pull his head off, light a ciggy and start swigging from a bottle of Heineken and complaining about how hot it is under that poorly ventilated head. No, our contract with said performers is that they do the merrymaking, we do the obligatory smiling and waving. It's deeply woven into the theme park customs contract. The Masked Singer has been a widely popular global phenomenon, the general premise being that well-known personalities take turns on stage belting out familiar pop songs. However, the twist is that these celebrities are cloaked in outlandish costumes like a seahorse or a hot dog. When speaking, their voices are scrambled, however when singing they use their own voice, and it's up to us as an audience to try to decipher who lies within the costume. There has even been some Eurovision crossover, with Martin Harkett appearing on the UK version and Irish Eurovision royalty Johnny Logan putting in an appearance at the Belgian version. Once the mask is removed, the intrigue and mystique instantly evaporates and the star must exit the stage. The longer the game goes on, the more infuriating it gets. However, no mask equals no intrigue equals no interest. You might have a good sense that it's your favourite Spice Girl or footballer under the hood, but you don't know for sure, like you can't be 100% certain. Like Subwoofer, you may have had your theories, but it was never 100% confirmed who Jim and Keith actually were until now. Does finally lifting the bright yellow lid on their identities and the removal of any remaining intrigue render them spent? Have they unwittingly confined themselves to obscurity? The importance of the preservation of the identities and the wearing of masks is right throughout popular culture. Indeed, we see it in our favourite Marvel superhero movies and recent Star Wars smash The Mandalorian, where the removal of the mask means effective ostracizing from the community of other Mandalorians. Such is the severity of a mask removal. I think Subwoofer are an act of marketing genius, a merchandise-friendly, family-friendly act that were purpose-built for the over-the-top flamboyance of Eurovision. Norway, ever the risk-taker at the contest, have delivered something that will live on in the annals of Eurovision history forever, and subtracting the novelty value of the act. In June 2022, Give That Wolf a Banana had been streamed 20 million times on Spotify. The band scored a number 4 chart placing in their home nation. Of course, let's not forget, didn't just qualify for the Eurovision final, but landed a very respectable 10th place. With their masks removed and Goita and Ben free to live out their lives as themselves, or indeed their alter egos Keith and Jim, how will that work in the future? Clark Kent and Superman could never be in the same place at the same time. With Subwoofer free to grab their capes or wolf masks when the situation commands, will the relationship with their loyal fans change, or is this just another part of the very postmodern story of this most novelty of acts? Everything has a sell-by date. Is this final controlled and indeed voluntary unmasking a way of Subwoofer controlling the narrative up until the very last moment? How will we as an audience adapt to the change? And how will Ben and Goita be able to go back to ordinary life and build an audience away from the protection and allure of brand Subwoofer? Time, of course, will always tell. What are your thoughts on how Subwoofer will move forward with their new dual identity? Do you think Subwoofer were right to remove their masks when they did? Please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.